Hello fellow aviators, VRF Summer here. Welcome to leg 18 of the World Tour. Today we're flying between Colorado City, Arizona, up through the Zion National Park in southern Utah, in Bryce Canyon National Park, and eventually into Bryce Canyon Airport. I've just downloaded the new ORBX scenery for Flight Simulator 2020 for Bryce Canyon Airport, so it'll be a cool chance to check out the scenery there also. And we'll be using Pilot Edge air traffic control once again. Might get some flight following during a portion of the flight, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to due to terrain considerations and line of sight for the radios. But we'll go ahead and get the airplane fired up. Let's hop inside and make sure we have everything ready to go. So we'll pull out our checklist. Once again, this will be another late afternoon flight. Sun will be setting on us as we explore these national treasures in the United States. So aircraft documents are checked. Parking brake. We have that set. Ignition is off. Avionics switch bus 1 and 2 are off. Battery switch on. Fuel quantity indicators are checked full. Low fuel enunciators are off. Avionics switch bus 1 and bus 2 on. Avionics cooling fans are audible. And avionics switch is off. Stack pressure alternate source valve off. Avionics, the enunciator panel is tested. Fuel selectors both. Fuel shutoff valve selected open, flaps down. There we go. Get those going down. Alright, perfect. And pitot heat on, check working. And we got the amp bump there, that's good. Pitot heat back off, battery switch off. And elevator trim, we'll set that to neutral. Pre-flight inspection cockpit's complete. On the before starting engine check, first thing we'll do is head outside the aircraft, and there's somebody taking off or landing. Make sure everything looks good. Looks like I'll be doing a right-hand turn out of here. I'm kind of boxed in actually, so I'll do a right-hand or left-hand turn out and try to get out of here somehow. There are a lot of aircraft parked here, so we'll have to see. Pre-flight inspection's complete. Seats, belts adjusted, locked. Electrical equipment off. Avionics switches off. Fuel selector both. Fuel shutoff valve open. Starting engine check. Throttle, get that open 1/4 of an inch. Mixture to idle cutoff. Propeller area clear. Clear prop. Battery master switch on. Beacon, turn that on. Mixture rich. I think we're gonna have to put it all the way rich there. And auxiliary fuel pump on 3 to 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we have fuel in there. Mixture lean. I'm gonna take it back to about 70% since we're at a higher altitude here. At over 4,000 feet. And get our feet on the brakes. Let me get on my rudder pedals here. It's always there we go. Alright, feet are on the brakes and ignition to start. Here we go. Alright, good start. We'll get the throttle back to 1,000 RPM. Alright, it's good. After starting engine check, throttle's adjusted, oil pressure's checked, alternator now on. Alternator indicators off, ammeters checked. It's charging the battery. That looks good. Avionics switch bus 1 and bus 2 on. Radios are on. Transponder standby. Flaps up. Here they come. Heading indicator should be at 165. We have that set. And altimeter, we're gonna have to get that set. We do not have AWOS available here. I'm showing 3007 as the altimeter setting on my EFB, my electronic flight bag. And airport elevation is at 4,800. Airport elevation is supposed to be 4,874 feet, so 3007. I think that's going to be close enough there. Altimeter set, attitude indicators set, And start engine check complete. The taxi check, we'll get the taxi light on as we move. I'll go ahead and turn the nav lights on and we'll check the turn coordinator and everything. Common traffic advisory frequency is 122.7. So I'll get that set in here. And we will have our, we pull up our chart before we start taxiing so we can go ahead and brief that. I believe the winds today at Colorado City are being reported out of the north at 6 knots. I'll pull up our Navigraph charts. There we go. So here's Colorado City Municipal. I think we'll plan to depart on runway 2. So we'll back taxi from right here at Bravo 3 down to runway 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of the, we'll do our run up at Bravo 3 there, or maybe it's Alpha, wherever we exit here. And we'll go down 2,000 foot mountains north and northeast of the airport, 3 foot brush within primary surface of runway 220 and 1129. Wildlife in the vicinity, but plenty of runway there. And so that all looks good. And Los Angeles Center is 124.2. So I'm going to just have that standing by for us in case we do want to get flight following. So 124.20. That standby here on COM 1. And let me go ahead and brief up our flight plan, what we're planning to do here today. Courtesy of, sectional chart courtesy of SkyVector. So we're taking off here out of Colorado City. You can see it's showing our altimeters at 3007 right now, winds out of the north 6 knots. 8 degrees Celsius, so quite a bit cooler than when we came in the other day. We're actually going to head north through the Canaan Mountain Wilderness area and the Zion National Park. And then we will continue eventually to Bryce Canyon Airport, which right now it's showing clear skies, gusty winds out of the north, 3003 on the altimeter. I'm going to put in the Bryce Canyon VOR 112.8 in our nav 1 as just a reference for us when it's time for us to head toward the airport. So 112.8. Get that standing by down here. And I think I am going to go ahead and begin our taxi. So we're 122.7, we're ready to roll. I'm going to turn on our taxi light, turn off our parking brake, and we'll begin our taxi. Really tight ramp here. You can see that Canaan Mountain Wilderness area up to the north. It's really cool looking. Alright, here we go. Start rolling a little bit here. Just going to take it easy. Using my new Logitech rudder pedals and Honeycomb Alpha yoke tonight. And then my old joystick throttle for throttle control. I have a Logitech throttle quadrant on the way. Okay, we'll make a left turn here. I'll make our announcement. Colorado City traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, taxiing to runway 2 via Bravo, and holding short runway 2 at Alpha, Colorado City. Alright, we'll do our run up right here at runway 2. Before we take the runway, so I'll set our brakes, turn coordinator, compass, all of that was working perfectly. We had it tested. Turn off our taxi light, Parking brake is now set. And we'll pull out the checklist to do our run-up check before we get going here. Parking brake set, pilots and passenger seat backs, most upright position, seats, belts, check secure, flight controls are free and correct. Flight instruments, I'm going to set our 9,500 was our planned cruise altitude, but we're just going to be flying around enjoying the scenery today, so we'll see where we end up. Fuel quantity indicators are checked full, mixture, we have it as rich as we want it to be. Fuel selectors on both, and autopilot will engage and move the flight controls against the autopilot. Should disconnect, there it goes. So autopilot off, throttle set to 1,800 RPM. Get that going, we'll do our mag checks. Alright, there's our RPM where it needs to be. Checking the right mag. Back to both. And left mag. Back to both, it's within limits. Vacuum gauge is in the green. Oil temperature and pressure are good. No annunciator lights. And we're going to do the engine idle check. Should idle out around 600 to 650 RPM. Alright, looks good. We'll adjust back to 1,000 RPM. And we'll continue with the before takeoff check. We have radios set, avionics are set, nav GPS switch is set, transponder on ALT. Alright, and autopilot's off, elevator trim. It looks like it bumped up just a bit there. There we go, we're right back in neutral, set for takeoff. Flaps at 0 degrees. Cabin windows closed, locked. Parking brake will release, and we'll be rotating at 55 knots and climbing out to the north, straight out toward the Canaan Mountain Wilderness area. Don't hear anybody on the radios, don't see anybody on the runways, so I'll announce our intentions on Common Traffic Advisory frequency. Here we go. Get all our lights on. Colorado City traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, entering runway 2 at Alpha, back taxiing for north departure, Colorado City. Colorado City traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, crossing runway 29 on runway 2, Colorado City. Alright, there's nobody coming in on final. We had that citation earlier, but nowhere to be found. It's kind of a dangerous place to be, but we're out of there now, so good. Alright, we'll continue our back taxi. We are going to do a full power check here before we take off. Since we're at a higher altitude, I'm going to hold the brakes, we'll put in full throttle and make sure we're getting at least 2,350 RPM. Alright, windsock agrees with our takeoff direction here to the north. Alright, now slow us down. Looks like there was a little more space down here than I thought. Try to get us turned around here. Use some differential braking in the rudder. Haven't quite got the sensitivity worked out in these Logitech rudder pedals. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to hold the brakes. We'll set in full power. Let's see. Need to lean it just a bit more, it looks like. There we go. And we're rolling. Just double check we don't have anybody coming from the parallels. Don't see anybody out there. Alright, airspeed is alive. It's 55 knots. we'll just continue our climb out at 70 knots here. And we have some beautiful weather here. I'm glad the getting quite a bit of snow to the east of here in Colorado today and northern New Mexico, which we will be getting to those areas in the next few legs on this world tour, so definitely make sure you're tuning in for that. And if you'd like to join along, you're always welcome to. But the weather's starting to get dicey here in the western United States. And I'm going to continue to try to fly this 172 as long as I can, but might not be possible here pretty soon. Colorado City traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, departing the pattern to the north, Colorado City. Alright, so we're clear of the Colorado City airspace now. Go ahead and start firing Los Angeles Center. Might get some flight following here in a bit.
Number 3, Bravo, did you copy? Number 3, Bravo, from the traffic, 11 o'clock, 5 miles crossing left to right, altitude indicate 6,500. Thanks, see you later. Cessna 1 to Yankee, so call departure, ready contact. Climb and maintain 1000.
Alright, we'll go ahead and start exploring this Canaan Mountain Wilderness area here.
The traffic is now at 11 o'clock, 1 mile left to right, altitude indicates 6,600.
Yeah, keep scanning around for traffic through here. There was that Cessna Citation flying around earlier.
Sorry, 3 Bravo, roger.
I think I'll try to take us up through this area, and if we just keep on heading north, it will turn into Zion National Park. Just an absolutely beautiful park with the Virgin River flowing through the canyon there. I believe that canyon's about 15 miles long. I did hear they have an advisory out. You're not supposed to wade in the water in the Virgin River right now. There's some sort of bacteria that's in there that's apparently can cause some nervous system damage. So I don't think it'll be any problem for us here in the simulator, and we'll be flying anyway, so we'll be well above the water. I might try to take us down through the canyon a little bit. We will see. Yeah, you can see the terrain up ahead. Looks really cool. Canaan Mountain Wilderness area, and we are now in Utah, so our next state in the world tour. Get just a little
Stock 122 Yankee, turn right heading 300 when able direct twine and resume the Van Nuys 3 departure.
This is pretty stunning scenery out here. For sure. And I'm just going to continue our climb up to 9,500. Looks like we're not quite picking up the Bryce. Well, I guess it would help if I shifted it to active. So 1112.8. There we go. We're 49 miles from the Bryce Canyon VOR. Perfect. You can see this is just a really cool looking area here. Alright, 1,000 feet to level off. See, they've had a little bit of snowfall, it looks like, in some of the higher points already. They've had a few feet in parts of Colorado, where we'll be heading potentially by the end of this week if the World Tour continues on pace. Trying to get at least a few legs in a week. And looks like that might be the Virgin River that's down here below us, flowing into Zion National Park. So I think I'll try to follow that for a bit. And I'm trying to use the live weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 tonight also, just to giving it another run. It wasn't working quite right for me for quite a while, but I think I see some clouds out there in the distance, which is good. And the weather matched what the AWAS was reporting at Colorado City, so we'll just keep using this live weather engine today through Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've been using the Rex weather as a backup, and it's worked really well. If any of you are on the fence about purchasing the Rex weather, I would recommend it. It's a good thing to have, especially if you want to assure that you're getting the real world conditions for some practice approaches or something like that. Alright, we're coming out to our cruising altitude of 9,500. And we will level off here. I'm just going to maintain our cruise power, our climb power to accelerate, and then we'll throttle back to cruise power. And I will trim us out. Looks like we have a lake below us. That might be a good, with a dam, that might be a good visual reference. Definitely some stunning scenery here through Zion National Park. Whoa, sorry about that. See those beautiful colors. So maybe that's the town of Hurricane below us. Or maybe it's Rockville or Springville. That's probably Rockville, actually. Let's see what radial we're on the. Let's see, 112.8. I'm gonna get tuned into nav 2 so we can. Figure out what radial we're on here. Alright, so we are on the 210 radial from Bryce Canyon.
Doug 122 Yankee, it appears you're squawking at VFR, reset transponder squawk 2217.
So yeah, this is probably the town of Springdale below us, back behind us there.
Thank you. Squawk 4733 Bravo, contact Los Angeles Center 134.65.
And we'll turn us back over here toward the Virgin River. That's where the, I think some of the famous canyons, the big canyon is.
Number 4733 Bravo, contact LA Center 134.65.
This is pretty cool for default scenery in a flight simulator.
Squawk 7334 Foxtrot, contact SoCal approach 134.2. Squawk 34 Foxtrot, SoCal approach 134.2, 34.2.
Yep, so I think that's the East Fork of the Virgin River down below us, right there at 11 o'clock. And we should be able to follow it up north into the Zion National Park up ahead. So I believe, according to my sectional chart here,
Squawk 733 for Foxtrot, SoCal approach, Burbank altimeter 3000.
Los Angeles Center, no. Cessna 4733 Bravo, 9500.
This is 4733 Bravo, Los Angeles Center, Las Vegas altimeter 3008.
Base altimeter 3008, 4733 Bravo.
and that looks like be a fun canyon to fly through down below us. I don't know that I'm going to do it right now, but just look at this terrain off the nose. It's just incredible. See kind of the red cliffs way up to the north there. And shadows are already taking over the canyon down below.
Squawk 7334 Foxtrot, are you familiar with the Los Angeles Bravo airspace? Nearest entry point is 12 o'clock and 3 miles. There's a 334 Foxtrot, roger. Are you planning on maneuvering around that airspace? Number 7334 Foxtrot, remain outside the Los Angeles Bravo airspace. I'm not going to be able to get you a transition. Remain out of the LA Bravo airspace, please. Sorry, 7334 Foxtrot, I show your destination Santa Monica. Are you looking to transition to the south, or is that the destination? Roger.
Alright, when we get to the 225 radial off Bryce Canyon, I think that's when we're gonna try to start heading.
Cessna 7334 Foxtrot, you're about to enter the Bravo airspace. Turn right immediately to avoid Bravo airspace.
Looks like it'd be just an incredible place to drive through on the ground too. I'm gonna have to come back out here sometime and maybe the extra 300 or something with a little more performance and try to fly through the canyon. I mean, it looks really cool. It's a pretty tight canyon. Don't think I'd really want to try it in this plane. I'd really get in trouble. As we continue to the north, we'll enter the Goose Creek Wilderness area. And you can see some of the mountains up ahead.
Skyhawk 7334 Foxtrot, Santa Monica Airport, 11 o'clock, 900 miles. Skyhawk 34 Foxtrot, roger.
Alright, so for the Enoch, I actually think we'll do the 110 radial off of the Enoch VOR, which is 117.3, and that should take us to the start of the Bryce Canyon National Park, so we can get a good view of that canyon on our way up to the airport. So I need to get the 110 radial, and we'll just be looking for that. I'll just put the heading indicator there, so we'll be looking out for it. In the meantime, we'll just enjoy the scenery of Zion National Park down below us. it's pretty incredible just how high up just all of this terrain is. Even the flat portions are, you know, over 7,000 feet above sea level. So it's just a high elevation area out here. And we're getting a little more greenery now, it appears, as compared to, it's very dry down to the south toward the Arizona border. We're climbing out of Colorado City.
Going 7334 Foxtrot, radar service terminated, squawk and maintained VFR, contact Santa Monica Tower 120.1, good day.
And also quite a bit of snow as we're getting to these higher elevations up to the north here. Looks like we went much further north would be in the clouds.
Departure radar contact. Baron 3891 Romeo, Santa Barbara departure radar contact.
Yeah, I guess I'll have some more canyons over here to the left. Let's go take a peek at this out to the west here. This is really cool looking. Pretty dramatic drop off there at that point between the two canyons. What a cool area. Some high altitude lakes.
Baron 901 Romeo, turn left heading 120.
Just want to get a good view down this canyon here. Back behind us.
Baron 901 Romeo, turn left heading 090 when able to direct Quang and resume on navigation. My name's 2993 Charlie, point me good departure, radar contact, good afternoon. My name's 5320 Whiskey, SoCal departure, ident. My name's 5328 Whiskey, ident.
I'm going to fly across this mountain ridge at a 45-degree angle, and then we'll turn to 90 degrees away from it once we cross it. Just to allow us to get away from any air currents we might hit coming over this ridge. Probably need to be a little bit higher. I'm just going to climb up some to get us some extra protection. You can see there's pretty dramatic terrain drop off coming up.
That's 5328 Whiskey, roger, we'll see you on the next one.
But there's definitely some weather changes up ahead to the north. We're going to be turning more to the east now. So I think we're heading up towards Cedar City, Utah. But we're going to turn away. Alright, so there we are. I'm going to turn 90 degrees away from the ridgeline. And we didn't have any crazy air currents hitting us there, which is good. Just got to be careful out in these mountainous areas. I'm just going to kind of keep this trajectory until we intercept the 110 radial off of Enoch, and we'll take that out to the start of the Bryce Canyon area. But we're out of Zion National Park now, I believe, and also out of the Deep Creek North Wilderness area.
My name's 2993 Charlie, contact Santa Barbara Bridge 120.55.
The Cedar Breaks National Monument up to our north. So we're just getting to see all sorts of cool scenery here in southern Utah. It's a really beautiful area. Yeah, I'm just going to keep climbing us up, I think, to 11,500 for now. Just give us a little bit of extra room over these mountains up ahead, just in case. Altitude is our friend to a certain extent. So we can really only get up to about 14,000 in this little Cessna 172, but...
My name's 2993 Charlie, Santa Barbara approach, Santa Barbara altimeter 3005.
Hey Matthew, glad to have you joining from the UK. Guess it's probably pretty early in the morning over there, late in the evening, early in the morning, however you want to say it. But glad to have you with me here on the flight. Flying with live time and
Charlie,
live weather.
traffic 12 o'clock, 3 miles southwestbound, up indicates 4,500, type unknown, appears to be maneuvering. Just 901 Delta Mike, SoCal departure, radar contact.
Alright, about 500 more feet to climb.
Baron 3891 Romeo, VFR traffic, 1 o'clock, 3 miles southwestbound, Alpha Case 4100 appears to be descending, type unknown.
And we'll definitely need to stay out of these clouds.
Squawk 122 Yankee, contact Joshua, approach 126.1, good
So
day.
we're below freezing, and we'll get some icing if we get in them. So I'm just going
091
to
Delta Mike, resume on navigation, cancel altitude restrictions.
take us a little bit to the south.
System 122 Yankee, Joshua approach, Palmdale, altimeter 3010. But as 903 Charlie, may see traffic off your left wingtip, opposite direction, 3000 at Baron. Bonanza 903 Charlie, additional traffic VFR 12 o'clock, 1 miles northbound, altitude case 3,400 appears to be descending, type unknown.
Alright, there we are, 11,500. That'll be our cruising altitude for right this minute. Hopefully it'll keep us
Bonanza 903 Charlie, Santa Barbara Airport, 12 o'clock, 12 miles.
safely above the terrain. And we are getting
That was the airport call. You have the airport 12 o'clock and 12 miles.
clouds with our, I'd say our main threat right now is just icing. We cannot handle icing. In this little plane at this high altitude, it could be catastrophic. So Bryce Canyon is going to be still up to our north and east, so up into those clouds. We'll have to see if we can maybe
Baron 3891 Romeo and disregard.
I think we'll be able to up ahead. It's just the
Baron
terrain's
3891
really
Romeo,
high
contact Point Go approach 124.7.
in this area.
Squawk 106 Alpha Zulu, contact Joshua approach 124.55, good day. Baron 3891 Romeo, Point Go approach, Oxnard altimeter 3002, expect vector visual approach runway 25. Baron 901 Romeo, expect vectors for the ILS 25 approach Oxnard. Baron, correction, Bonanza 29903 Charlie, contact Santa Barbara approach 119.7, good day.
Alright, I believe this is Navajo Lake up ahead, right off the nose here. I'll nose this down for just a bit so you can see it there. But I think this is Navajo Lake. I'll pull up our sectional chart. Give you all a
106
view.
Alpha Zulu, Joshua approach Mojave altimeter 3011.
Alright. So I think right here, Navajo Lake, I believe that's where we are in the road that's just under our aircraft. So if we follow this, it should take us pretty much to the start of the Bryce Canyon National Park, and then we can follow that up and toward the airport, and we'll check out that ORBX payware scenery for that airport. And it looks like we're hitting some of the lava fields now that are in this area, really high altitude lava fields that flowed probably quite a while ago. Really interesting area here.
Baron 901 Romeo, turn left heading 070, climb maintain 4000, vector for the ILS 25 approach.
we'll keep following the highway. It looks like we're gonna stay just south of this cloud layer, which is good because looks like maybe it's clearing out a little bit off the nose toward the 1230 position. So that hopefully will be. Last I saw in my electronic flight bag, it's showing that it's clear skies at Bryce Canyon Airport right now. So we should have EMC conditions. We know for sure that it's nice weather back at Colorado City, so absolute worst case, we'll just head back south toward one of the airports down here.
Bear 901 Romeo, turn right heading 090.
Alright, so we're gonna have to see what's going on here soon with the this cloud layer.
Skyhawk 6 Alpha Zulu, Mojave 12 o'clock and 12 miles.
I'm kinda hopeful that we can just fly underneath this cloud layer all the way up to the Bryce Canyon Airport.
Squawk 106 Alpha Zulu, no traffic observed between you and the Mojave Airport. Radar service terminated. Squawk maintained VFR. Contact Mojave Tower 127.6. Good day.
Alright. Looks like that 110 radial off of Enoch is pretty close by. The CDI is alive.
901 Romeo, turn right heading 120.
That's a good sign. We'll go ahead and turn to intercept that completely, and we'll just continue following that outbound. We get to the 140 radial off of Bryce Canyon. We're right about at the start of the Bryce Canyon National Park, and we can just follow that north straight up through the canyon and to the Bryce Canyon Airport. You can see there's definitely a cloud layer here that's would keep us from getting too low in this current area we're in, and the temperature is -4 degrees Celsius, so we would definitely be getting some icing on the aircraft if we were to fly into this cloud layer, so we need to stay away from visible moisture. That much is a given. But we'll just have to continue to monitor the conditions here. I think we're going to be okay when we get out to the east side of this.
Bear 901 Romeo, 6 miles from Nelly, turn right heading 230, maintain 4,000 is still established on the localizer, cleared ILS 25 approach.
But the direct path from Colorado City to Bryce Canyon, as you can see on the GPS, is basically up in that direction, and as of right now, it's completely socked in clouds. Almost a it's almost a broken layer in that area. Maybe not completely overcast, because you can see some patches in there, but definitely broken. So we're just gonna have to see if we can get in here on this east side. I'm not gonna go scud running.
389 Romeo, be advised you had a stuck mic there for about 10 seconds.
But we'll see here on the other side what it's looking like. I do have the pitot heat on. It's about the only thing we have available to combat any ice.
901 Delta Mike, contact SoCal Bridge 128.1.
I'm almost wondering if this is the canyon right here, but let's see what radial we're on from the whoops. What about the 185 radial?
There's 901 Delta Mike, SoCal Bridge, John Wayne altimeter 29908. There's 901 Delta Nike, say your ride conditions. Roger. Baron 3891 Romeo, contact Oxnard Tower 134.905, good day. Cog 4733 Bravo, contact Albuquerque Center 128.45.
Albuquerque Center 128.45, 4733
Hey,
Bravo.
Matt, yes, I am flying in VFR. I'm following visual flight rules today. This is just a VFR flight plan I filed on Pilot Edge, and currently I do not have flight following or anything. I'm just maintaining VMC, visual meteorological conditions, and there's a cloud layer right now that's kind of in the way between our current position and the Bryce Canyon Airport. So looks like it's clearing out here to the east. I think last I saw, the airport Bryce Canyon was reporting clear skies and winds out of the north. So we should be able to get in. It's looking good out here. And that might be the canyon off the nose there, heading up to the north. So you can see the weather is just completely different in this higher elevation area just to the west of Bryce Canyon. So it looks like we're going to be good. Definitely had to maintain a pretty high VFR altitude. Yep, exactly right, Matt. I think we're going to be okay. I'm just using some radials off Enoch VOR and also the Bryce Canyon VOR to keep track of our position. And when we get to the 140 radial, then off of Bryce Canyon and the 110 radial off of Enoch, we should be at the start of the Bryce Canyon to follow it up. So pretty much I'm on the 110 radial now. I'm going to try to track along that. I'm not sure what the winds aloft are doing right now, but we'll see how the course deflects when I hold this 110 heading, and we'll have
There's 901 Delta Mike, VFR traffic, 12 o'clock, 4 miles opposite direction, altimeter indicates 6,500, type 9.
But one thing I do need to do, I need to get the airplane trimmed out a little bit better here. A little out of trim at the moment. And there's just a slight amount of turbulence. And let's take a look. Yep, definitely starting to clear out up to the north toward Bryce Canyon now, so that's a good thing. That is one neat thing about the live weather. In Flight Sim, when it's working, you can see the areas of weather in the cloud layers, just like in real life. It doesn't suddenly change on you. So that is really cool. Definitely adds to the immersion factor. So we're coming up on the 140 radial. So Bryce Canyon should be up in this area here somewhere. And I'm going to go ahead and descend down to 9,500. We don't need to be all the way up here to 11,500 anymore. I think we're through the high altitude and high cloud area. We were able to maintain VMC. Alright, the course is alive for that 140 radial off of Bryce Canyon. Yep, I think this is the canyon up ahead. You can see it right there at about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Number 464 Lima, SoCal approach. Good afternoon. You're cleared to the San Diego Lindbergh Airport. As filed. Climb maintain 5,000. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 7442. Hold for release. Skyline 464 Lima, roger. And on departure, you're just cleared to San Diego as filed. I'm not sure if I said right of vectors, but as filed, climb maintain 5,000, and you said 5 minutes you'll be ready to taxi, or you'll be ready for departure in 5.
Alright, so pretty soon we should get to check out the ORBX Bryce Canyon Airport scenery. I have not even loaded it up yet.
464 Lima, roger. You're released for departure. Clearance void if not off by 0005 Zulu. If not off by 0005 Zulu. Tactic SoCal approach on 122.2 and state intentions. Time now 2354.5. Change advisory frequency is approved. We'll talk to you airborne.
So I'll be seeing it with you all for the first time as well, so should be pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn us up to the north now. We're just going to follow the canyon.
Sirius 901 Delta Mike, contact SoCal approach 119.6. Good day. Sirius 1 Delta Mike, affirmative, see ya. Sirius 901 Delta Mike, SoCal approach, Lindbergh altimeter 29907.
Yeah, listen, my video card, I would have to look it up. I believe it's an NVIDIA RTX. I'll have to look it up later. I'm sorry. I don't know off the top of my head, but I just purchased this computer back in April. So it's a relatively new video card, and it's definitely been able to run the new flight sim pretty smoothly. I'd say my biggest bottleneck right now is just my internet speed. I have some issues with that sometimes. So I believe we're over Bryce Canyon National Park now, heading up toward the airport. Yeah, if y'all haven't been out here flying in the West, the United States yet in flight sim, it's definitely worth checking out. A lot of cool areas to go flying through, and I look forward to discovering all sorts of cool spots around the world over the course of this world tour. I just love those colors down there. It's really cool. Alright, so we need to head toward the Bryce Canyon VOR at some point. Need to make sure we're going to the airport. Which we are, slowly but surely. I'm actually going to take us down to 8,500 now because we're going to be on mostly a westerly heading from this point on. So we'll continue our descent, try to maintain a western direction VFR altitude. And we'll go ahead and flip our landing lights back on since we're getting closer to the airport environment. Just help with our identification. Let's turn off the Morse identifier for the ENIC VOR. We don't need that anymore. And I'm going to pull up the airport charts so you all can, we can go ahead and start kind of briefing the approach here. So pull up Navigraph. Let's transition over here. So for Bryce Canyon, there it is, 7,590 feet, so pattern altitude will be at 8,600. Common traffic advisory frequency is 122.8, and we'll probably be landing on runway 3, left-hand turn off, Alpha 4, Alpha 8, back to the end. And that's our plan. Definitely a lot of terrain in the area. It's a higher altitude airport, so we'll keep that in mind. It's just going to take a lot longer for the aircraft to do almost anything. Just not going to be quite as responsive. And Pilot Edge does not yet simulate automated weather. But on my EFB, I'm showing Bryce Canyon altimeter at 3004 and winds out of the north at 14. So I'll go ahead and set 3004 in the altimeter. About 13 miles out, 122.8. Get that standing by, and COM 1 we'll start monitoring it here in another mile or so, and we'll announce when we're 10 miles out. There we go, 122.8 standing by. And we'll see what this ORBX scenery looks like at Bryce Canyon Airport. Apparently it is right off the nose, somewhere up here, in about 12 miles. Alright, we'll switch over to the ctaf frequency. We'll monitor it for a bit, and then I'll chime in just a minute. Make sure we don't hear any other traffic in the pattern. And we're going to be planning to enter left traffic for runway Oh, it's runway, double check here. It's runway 3, so I'm going to set that in the heading bug just so we have a good reference for where we're going and what direction the runway will be. And 122.8, I'm going to go ahead and make our radio call. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, 900 miles to the southeast. Inbound to land, runway 3. Any traffic in the area, please advise. Bryce Canyon. Alright. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anybody out here in Pilot Edge this evening. Unless one of you happens to just log on. So, but definitely some beautiful scenery. I'm actually still trying to make out the airport. I think I see the airport off the nose up here, but I'm not 100% sure that's it quite yet. I think on the sectional charts matching up pretty much due west of the VOR at this point. So yeah, the sectional's showing that it looks like the airport's just up on the top of this ridge here. Kind of a high altitude airport. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, 5 miles to the east. We'll be entering left traffic for runway 3. Bryce Canyon. Okay, I think it's supposed to be right up here. I hope I didn't have a load problem with... So I downloaded the scenery and just came right into the flight. So maybe it's just got the satellite imagery. We'll see. I'll look here in just a minute. Maybe I should have reloaded the sim first. But we'll go around if we have to. The airport should be right in this area here. There it is. And there's an aircraft. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, crossing midfield, entering left downwind, runway tree. Bryce Canyon. Alright, there we go. And it's a jet. Okay. And I'm just, since we're at a higher altitude, that means our ground speed is going to be higher. And hence our turn radius will also be a little, it'll be a little more distant. So it's better to keep a wider traffic pattern when you're at a higher altitude airport. That way you don't overshoot final. So we'll go ahead and, I think we have enough distance here. We'll start turning our left downwind. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, left downwind runway tree, Bryce Canyon. And beautiful colors there through the clouds. Alright, we're beam the numbers, so I'm going to start slowing us a bit. So we can get our flaps in, and then we'll start descending. And I'm going to plan to turn our base out over this area here. These ditches or these roads, I'm not sure what they are exactly. But alright, we can go ahead and lower our first notch of flaps. We'll get that in. And start a slow descent. And begin our base turn. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, left base, runway tree, Bryce Canyon. Alright, there we are on base. We'll get our second notch of flaps in. And keep our descent going. And we'll start turning final. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, final runway tree, Bryce Canyon. And full flaps. And there we are. Let's get our descent rates slowed a bit. There we go. It's going to be about 300-400 feet per minute. Ground speed's at 80 knots. It's about 400 feet per minute for a 3-degree descent toward the runway. Alright, gas, undercarriage, mixture, props, we're all good, ready to land, seatbelts are secured. Runway looks clear. These rudder pedals are always a little sensitive, but it's working overall. I'm gonna turn the ailerons into the wind. We had a pretty good left crosswind there on final. I think we'll be able to take the next left. Coming up on the brakes. Let's make sure I'm about to hit somebody. I don't see anybody on here. Okay, cool. Bryce Canyon traffic, Cessna 215, Romeo Alpha, clear of the active, taxiing to the General Aviation Terminal via Alpha, Bryce Canyon. Alright, we'll get flaps up. Landing light off, strobes off. Leave the taxi lights on. Alright. And we'll get on back. What a beautiful evening it is here in Bryce Canyon, Utah. And those clouds are just starting to roll in from back to the west. Glad we were able to get in. VMC conditions the whole way. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the pitot heat. We don't need that on anymore. -2 degrees Celsius, so it'll be a cool evening here. I'm not sure if they have any snow in the forecast for Bryce Canyon, but definitely west, where we'll be a little later this week, hopefully, Colorado. We'll get some really good flying in the Rockies. If any of you want to join, yeah, be sure to join the Facebook page, VRF Simmer, or YouTube channel for all the latest. Yeah, this ORBX scenery is pretty cool here at the airport. Here, we'll taxi on down here, take a look at the hangars. They did such a good job with it. It really was blending in with the terrain around the area. So here, let's go look at the hangar here, see what it looks like. So that's pretty cool. And we'll go over here to the terminal building. Very cool. Take us around to the right here, and we will I think we'll park right there. We have our marshaller out. Try to get on the taxi line here. Might be a good thing to do. At least we're getting a decent view of the scenery, what they did with the terminal here. Alright, here we go. We're going to bring us around to our marshaller. Turn off our taxi lights so we don't blind the guy. Oh, he wants us to park right and line up with him. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Alright. Park and brake on. Let's get our trim set here. Make sure we got that reset for the next flight so we don't forget. Get our transponder back onto standby. And we'll go ahead and do the get the radios off. Get our transponder off now. And engine idle is good. We'll turn the mags off. Continue that. Engine shutting off. Mixture back to idle. Get the nav light off, beacon off, alternator off, battery switch off. Fuel selector valve to the left, and fuel shut off valve is closed. Let's pull out our checklist and make sure everything's been done. We'll start with our after landing check. Okay. Flaps up, landing light off, taxi light off, strobe off, elevator trim reset to neutral, transponder, it's now off. Parking check, parking brake set, transponder off, avionics switches off, engine idle, we did that check. Mag cutoff test complete, mixture idle cutoff. Parking check complete. And securing check. Ignition off, landing lights off, taxi lights off, nav lights off, alternator off, battery switch off, fuel selector to the left. Securing check complete. Alright, so welcome to Bryce Canyon. And you can see it's just a beautiful view here. They did a great job with the airport scenery on ORBX. It's cool to have that Bryce Canyon Airport there on the hangar roof, so we know exactly where we are. But we'll continue our trek westward in the next leg of the World Tour. Be sure to follow this VRF Simmer Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and for now, VRF Simmer signing off. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again in the air soon.